All right, y'all, what's better than fish and grits in the morning? But I got a little twist to go with it, so y'all stay tuned. Yeah, boy. All right, in this bowl, what you see is I've got some smoked sausage chopped up real fine. I've got some onions, and you also see some fresh thyme, right? I got fresh thyme in there. This is gonna go into the mixture that we're gonna be using with our shrimp. All right, can't have shrimp and grit without some good shrimp. So fresh from Whole Foods, I'm gonna let them thaw out a little bit, rinse them off, take the shells, make a little stock, and we on our way, y'all. Yeah, boy. All right, here you have, we have some pink shrimp, we have some white shrimp. I deveined them in the back, and now we are ready to go. All right, in a hot pan over medium-high heat, we're going to add some olive oil and then follow it up with a little bit of butter. And this is what's gonna get us started on sauteing down the vegetables. Then we're going to go ahead and drop in the first batch of smoked sausage, the onions, fresh thyme. Generally, you would drop the onions in there by themselves, but we're just trying to sweat everything down, cook it down as best we can, and then we'll move on to the next. All right, I've also done a fine dice on some celery. I'm gonna go ahead and add that celery in there and let that cook down and sweat down, along with the smoked sausage and the onions as well. All right, you got to season it every step of the way. I'm going to go ahead and use some of this barbecue shrimp seasoning on my vegetables and sausage. Good stuff. Just work it in there real good. And as you can see at the bottom of the pan, you're starting to see some of it stick. That's all right. Don't worry about that, because we're going to deglaze this pan once we get further down in the process. All right, next step in the process is we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour to our mixture. We're going to cook this flour down, cook the rawness of the flour out of it, and then on to the next step of the process. But you just want to work it in there real good. Don't worry about it sticking to the bottom of the pan. Like I said before, we're going to deglaze. All right, after working that flour into the pan, this is what we're looking at. I know it looks a total mess. No worries. We're going to go ahead and throw in some tomatoes. We're going to work those in there as well. Cook those down. Cook the rawness out of them as well. And wilt them down a little bit. Work it in the pan. Again, you can see everything at the bottom is sticking. Here we go. Good old seafood stock. If you don't have seafood stock, or you can't make your own, use chicken stock. You just want to put it in there. I'm going to fill it up probably halfway to the pan and turn the heat up to high. I want to cook everything down, and I want to deglaze the bottom of the pan. All right, once you cook down a little bit, you'll see it starting to get a little thicker. That's fine. If you need to, just add some more stock and continue to reduce it down as much as you can. You don't want to let it get too thick. You just want a nice, smooth, creamy consistency. And again, scrape the bottom of the pan, get as much of the bits of goodness off the bottom as you can. And then you can, of course, cook these shrimp in another pan, saute them up if you want to brown them up. I'm not. I've already seasoned them up a little bit. I'm just going to drop them right in here, turn my heat down to a very low heat, and I just want the residual heat to cook these shrimp through. Because to me, doing it that way, you make sure you exude all of that good shrimpy flavor. And this is what we're looking at so far. Beautiful. A little bit thick. I'm going to drop me some green onions in here. And I'm probably also going to drop a little bit more stock in there. And just let this sit on the stove until our grits are ready, until we're ready to plate up. All right. I'm going to also drop a few pads of butter in here as well. The butter is just going to give a little more creaminess, a little more richness to the dish. All right, this is what you want to see right here. Mixture is ready to go. Now we can go into our next step, which is we're going to go ahead and get our grouper ready. We're going to place it in the broiler, broil it down, and that's what's going to go with our shrimp and grits. All right, what we have here is a whole fillet of grouper. We're going to go ahead and cut this down the center to give us 2 portions and move on to the next step of broiling. All right, we got our grouper here. We're just going to drop some olive oil on top of it. Simple process right now. I mean, because you're going to broil it. You just basically want to rub it down on all sides with olive oil just to make sure it doesn't stick. And then hit it with your favorite seasoning, and off you go. All right, there we have it. We got our fish seasoned on both sides. We're going to go ahead and drop this in a broiler, which is basically 500-degree oven. And we're going to broil it until it starts to flake up, which is probably going to be about 8 minutes. And here we go. Beautiful. All right, guys, here we have it. Our broiled grouper with shrimp and grits right here on the Rolling Grill. Catch you on the next video. Yeah, boy!